Have you ever wondered how a secretive occultist society could have influenced the rise of one of history's most notorious regimes? Today, we delve into the shadowy world of the Thule Society. Born amidst the chaos of post-World War I Germany, it was a brainchild of Rudolf von Sebottendorf, a former army officer turned occultist. Its core belief, Aryan superiority. But how did this esoteric group shape the rise of Nazi Germany? To understand the depth of the Thule Society's influence, we need to dive into the tumultuous period of post-World War I Germany. In the aftermath of World War I, among the chaos and confusion, the Thule Society took form. This enigmatic group emerged in Germany, founded by a man named Rudolf von Sebottendorf, a former German army officer and an occultist. He was intrigued by the esoteric, the hidden knowledge that most dared not explore. Sebottendorf's interest in the occult and the mysterious was not uncommon for the era. The early 20th century was a period of great interest in the supernatural and the unseen. Yet, the Thule Society was unique in its focus. It was not merely an avenue for the exploration of the esoteric, but a platform for the promotion of a specific racial ideology. The Thule Society derived its name from Ultima Thule, a mythical northern land believed to be the birthplace of the Aryan race. Central to the society's belief system was the concept of Aryan superiority. The members saw themselves as the descendants of ancient Germanic peoples, the purest form of the human race. This focus on racial purity was combined with an exploration of Germanic mysticism and occultism. The society's members delved into theosophy, Freemasonry, and other esoteric traditions, blending them into their unique worldview. This ideology was not only about self-exploration, but also about defining an enemy. The society viewed Jews as their primary adversaries, blaming them for what they perceived as the decline of German society and culture. Anti-Semitism was not a fringe belief within the Thule Society. It was at the core of their ideology. Yet despite their controversial beliefs, the Thule Society was not an isolated group. It had connections with prominent individuals in German society, providing a platform for the dissemination of its ideologies. The Thule Society, with its esoteric beliefs and racial ideologies, was about to cross paths with a man who would change history, Adolf Hitler. Enter Adolf Hitler, a man destined to be synonymous with terror and destruction. A man who would plunge the world into a dark period of war and genocide. But how did this man come to embody such extremist ideologies? The answer takes us back to the early 1920s, where a connection was forged that would change the course of history. A connection with the Thule Society. Dietrich Eckart, a member of the Thule Society, was the bridge that connected Hitler to this secretive occultist group. Eckart, a German playwright and journalist, was drawn to Hitler's charisma and saw in him a vessel for the Thule Society's ideologies. He became a mentor to Hitler, introducing him to the society's members and their esoteric beliefs. This was a crucial phase in Hitler's ideological evolution. The Thule Society's beliefs in Aryan superiority and Germanic mysticism resonated with him. He was particularly influenced by their anti-Semitic and nationalist ideologies, which blamed Jews for Germany's decline and championed the notion of an Aryan master race. Eckart's mentorship went beyond mere ideological indoctrination. He provided Hitler with a network of influential individuals who shared these extremist beliefs. This network would prove invaluable in Hitler's rise to power, providing him with the support and resources he needed to spread his toxic ideologies. In retrospect, the Thule Society's impact on Hitler was profound. Their ideologies became the foundation of his worldview, shaping his political agenda and the destructive policies of the Nazi regime. It's chilling to consider how this secretive occultist group contributed to the formation of one of history's most reviled figures. But it wasn't just Hitler who was influenced by the Thule Society. Many of his associates, including key figures in the Nazi regime, were also drawn to their esoteric practices. This would lead to a strange blend of politics and occultism in the years to come, adding a sinister layer to the horrors of the Nazi era. With the ideas of the Thule Society now ingrained in Hitler, the stage was set for a terrifying era. An era that would see the rise of one of the most destructive regimes in history, fueled by a toxic mix of extremism, racism, and occultism. The Thule Society's ideologies were not just confined within its circle. These ideas were disseminated far and wide thanks to the Society's own publication, the Munich Observer. This newspaper served as a mouthpiece for the society, broadcasting its anti-Semitic and nationalist ideologies to a wider audience. The Munich Observer would later evolve into the People's Observer, the official newspaper of the Nazi Party, further cementing the Thule Society's influence on Nazi ideology. But it wasn't just through print that the Thule Society made its mark. Its members were well connected with influential individuals in German society, and these connections were instrumental in legitimizing and popularizing the extremist ideologies that the society championed. The society's influence seeped into various facets of the German society, subtly shaping public opinion and creating a fertile ground for the rise of the Nazi regime. One of the most influential figures associated with the Thule Society was Dietrich Eckart, a German playwright and an early supporter of Adolf Hitler. Eckart introduced Hitler to the society's members and their ideologies, fostering a relationship that would shape the future course of German history. It was through the Thule Society that Hitler encountered many of the anti-Semitic and nationalist ideas that would later become central to Nazi ideology. The society didn't just influence Hitler. Many prominent Nazis, including Heinrich Himmler and Rudolf Hess, were deeply involved in esoteric practices, influenced in part by the ideas propagated by the Thule Society. The Ahnenerbe, a research institute established by Himmler, conducted extensive studies into ancient Germanic history, mythology, and occultism, reflecting the Thule Society's influence. The Thule Society's influence was now firmly entrenched in the Nazi movement, shaping its direction and actions. Its ideologies became the bedrock of the Nazi regime, driving its policies and actions. And while the society itself faded into obscurity following Hitler's rise to power, its influence lived on, shaping one of the darkest chapters in human history. The Thule Society's influence wasn't just political, it had a spiritual dimension too. This was most evident in its association with the esoteric practices within the Nazi regime, such as the Ahnenerbe. This research institute, established by Heinrich Himmler, conducted extensive studies into ancient Germanic history, mythology, and occultism, reflecting the influence of the Thule Society's ideologies. Himmler wasn't alone in his fascination with the occult. Rudolf Hess, Hitler's deputy, was also deeply involved in esoteric practices. Both were drawn to the Thule Society's blend of Germanic mysticism, occultism, and notions of racial purity. They saw in these ideas a spiritual framework that justified their political ambitions and their vision for a racially pure Aryan state. The Thule Society's occult beliefs weren't just confined to the upper echelons of the Nazi regime, they permeated the entire party structure, influencing everything from its symbols to its rituals. The swastika, a symbol with ancient origins, was adopted by the Nazis due to its association with Aryan identity and Germanic mythology, a connection emphasized by the Thule Society. The society's influence extended beyond the realm of symbolism. Their belief in the power of the occult to shape the world was shared by many within the Nazi regime. This led to the commissioning of numerous esoteric projects, from the search for the Holy Grail to the hunt for mythical Aryan homelands. These endeavors, though often dismissed as the fantasies of a few obsessed individuals, underscored the extent to which the Thule Society's occult beliefs had seeped into the Nazi psyche. Even as the Thule Society faded into obscurity, its occult legacy lived on, permeating the very fabric of the Nazi regime. Its influence can be seen in the enduring fascination with the mystical aspects of Nazi Germany, a fascination that continues to fuel speculation and conspiracy theories to this day. The Thule Society's occult legacy, much like its political influence, is a testament to the power of ideas, however misguided, and their ability to shape the course of history. Despite its dissolution, the Thule Society's influence didn't end with the fall of the Nazi regime. Post-World War II, this enigmatic organization has piqued interest and stirred speculation, often veering into the realm of conspiracy theories. Tales of Nazi survival, clandestine occult rituals, and hidden treasures have frequently been linked back to the Thule Society, despite the lack of concrete evidence. Such theories, while largely unsubstantiated, underscore a broader cultural fascination. The clandestine nature of the Thule Society, coupled with its profound influence on one of history's most infamous regimes, has made it a subject of intrigue and speculation. its mystique is further amplified by its association with the occult, an aspect that has been sensationalized in popular culture and media. From novels to films, the Thule society and its esoteric practices have often been depicted, perpetuating its mysterious allure. These portrayals, while sometimes exaggerated, reflect the enduring curiosity about the society's connection to the mystic aspects of Nazi Germany. This fascination is not merely about the occult. It's also a quest to understand the societal forces and beliefs that contributed to one of the darkest periods in human history. It's a reminder of the dangerous potential of extremist ideologies and the enduring impact of a small, secretive society that once sought to shape the world in its own disturbing image. The Thule society, with its secretive practices and deep influence on Nazism, continues to provoke questions and fascination to this day.